Master, first video ever. This is groundbreaking. It's like Atom Bomb, Dead Ted, New Wave Dave, first class Garbage Pail Kids. And I'm here today to do my first video ever. All of this has been ordained. Now more than ever before, there's a necessity for my presence and I am being called to act. I'm launching a huge, it's going to be huge YouTube channel. And we're going to start with my product review series. It's going to be one of many series that I offer to the public. I'm now a public speaker. I'm going to be revered by millions. And in today's, just learning how to use my angles here. In today's product review series, we're going to be reviewing the Steelcase Leap 2. It's one of the most famous ergonomic chairs ever invented. You don't need to see this chair. You've watched other videos about it. I'm assuming you know about it. I'm not making this video. Hey, listen to me. I'm not making this video to demonstrate the features of the chair. I'm making this video to help you, I'm making this video to help you make a decision as to why you're going to spend either $1,000, because you buy this thing brand new, it's going to cost you like $1,200, I think, maybe $1,300. It's a lot of money for a chair, right? I got this thing refurbished. I'm going to tell you where I got it, why I chose that company. I paid like $575 for this thing, and I saved like, 50%, over 50%. I'm going to put the exact numbers, I'll go through, I forgot, okay? I'm going to write all that down. I'm going to give you that information. I'm going to tell you the manufacturer I chose to get this one. I'm going to show you why. I'm going to explain to you why I decided to go with a refurbished chair versus buying a new one. I'm going to give you my rationale for that. And I'm going to explain to you why I chose the Steelcase, the fuck is the name of this thing? Leap V2. Once you buy one of these things, it's going to last a long time. That's why you can justify spending so much money on it. But naturally, you're going to want to make the right choice. I'm going to arm you with knowledge because knowing is half the battle. I brought notes. I've come prepared for this presentation. There's two main companies, okay? You have Herman Miller and Steelcase. I want the best. I'm going to be sitting in this fucking thing for several hours a day, 5, 6, 7 days a week. I want a really good product. So I'm just looking at the top models for both of these companies. The top model for Herman Miller is their Aeron chair. Second to that is their Embody. It's right up there with the Aeron chair. Then we take a look at Steelcase. They have, the Gesture is actually their newest flagship model. And they have, of course, the Leap version 2. Don't get the version 1. It's definitely not as good. So when you're talking about getting a Leap, it's got to be a V2 or version 2. So a lot of people are comparing, of course, the Gesture to the V2. And believe it or not, even though the Gesture was designed to be the newest, best, more superior, the general consensus is that the Leap 2 is better. There's some details on that I can get into later. Second tier below the Gesture and the Leap 2 is the Think models and the, AMIA models. The Link and the AMIA models, they're like these great chairs, they're ergonomic, but they're nowhere near as good. I would say they're nowhere near as good as the Leap. The Leap 2 is better than those chairs. I was thinking about getting a Think because I could have got a refurbished one for like $350 instead of spending $575 for a Leap 2. So I could have saved $225 if I got a Think model refurbished versus the Leap 2. But I said, you know what? That's kind of really short-sighted. I'm probably gonna be sitting in this chair. I'm probably not gonna get in a chair for 10 fucking years. This chair is the best they make. They tried to make it even better than it already was by coming out with the Gesture. And still people are like, oh, Leap 2 is better. What it really comes down to, the Leap V2 from Steelcase versus the Aeron chair from Herman Miller. This is really what it comes down to in terms of making a decision. We're always trying to decipher truth from falsehood. We're living in a world where there's a lot of lies and deception, where people, they're greedy, they're trying to profit. You don't know who to believe. Everyone's gonna say, this is the best way to go. Do what I say, listen to me. The master is gonna show you the way. But if you're in that type of person that doesn't have a lot of money to spend, then you're gonna go the route of a refurbished chair. And in doing so, it could be perilous because there's a lot of people out there that take these models, because the businesses closed down, they have 300 employees, they got 300 of these fucking chairs, and these chairs are marketable. They get, the resale for these chairs is a whole industry. And not all remanufacturers are equal.
The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah, I've done the homework for you on that as well. I'm going to point the finger to the truth. There's two sources of information to help me arrive at this decision. First source is this guy who's super detail-oriented ISTJ maniac who put so much information out on all these ergonomic chairs. If it wasn't for him, it would have took me a lot longer to make these decisions. Mind you, it took me an entire day. I devoted 8 hours of my life to decide on the Leap 2 and the manufacturer I chose to purchase it from, remanufactured. All those decisions combined took me about 8 hours of my life that I'll never get back. And this one guy, he helped me a lot. The guy's a complete maniac. I mean, the level of time and detail that he's gone into analyzing all this minutia related to these ergonomic chairs, God bless him, it made my life a lot easier. He's the one that helped me to decide to not get the gesture. In terms of lumbar support and a better overall ergonomic chair, the Leap 2, the previous design prior to the gesture, seems to be better. Probably not by much, but I decided to go with the Leap 2. The other thing that helped me was a video by a gentleman who compared the Leap 2 to the Aeron chair. And he brought up a point about the Aeron chair that I never would have thought about. I'm really happy he put this information out there because I never would have been able to figure it out on my own. There's no place to sit around and test these chairs. You have to go to an authorized dealer. And for example, like the closest authorized dealer for Steelcase is like 300 miles from where I live. So I was in a position, probably like you, where you need to make a decision on what chair you're gonna get without actually ever sitting in it. Of course, you could order 2 chairs and return one. I wanted to avoid that because returning stuff could be a pain in the neck. So I figured I really want to nail this down right the first time. And I could never say for sure if I would have liked one chair better than the other. But I am happy with my decision. This guy basically brought to light that with the Aeron chair, the way it's designed, it's got this plastic ring around it. And it doesn't really work well for people who want to sit Indian style. Or I often sit with one leg under my butt, the other leg just hanging. And I often sit Indian style as well. I like to have that flexibility in how I sit.
If you try to sit cross-legged in the Aeron, the curved plastic lip on the seat pan digs into your legs, causing a lot of discomfort. Bottom line, if you're a leg crosser, the Aeron is a no-go.
That is not an option for me. I need a chair where I could sit Indian style or one leg under my butt, what have you, without being irritated in any way. And that's ultimately led me to decide on the Leap 2. The Embody is another model that you can get from Herman Miller that I just don't like the look of the chair. Let's get into aesthetics real quick. The Aeron is the most beautiful looking chair. Okay, I think that is apparent. It's a gorgeous looking chair from Herman Miller. That is my favorite chair aesthetically speaking. I also like how the gesture looks better than the Leap 2. And I also like how the secondary model, the Think from Steelcase, is a really sleek looking chair. It also looks better than the Leap 2 in my opinion, and it looks better than the gesture. The Think from Steelcase is a beautiful looking chair. I like it personally, that's my favorite chair aesthetically. And the Aeron from Herman Miller, both those chairs look really cool. I decided to go with a chair that doesn't look as cool because my main concern is functionality and the lumbar support system and things like that. I do a lot of training. I run a lot, I work out a lot, I do mixed martial arts, and my back gets sore a lot very easily. I need a chair to help take some of that support off. I do stand, I do believe in standing desks. I split standing up with sitting. Okay, I was just standing at my desk for about 2 years, and I found that every time I got tired, I'd lie down and just waste time on my phone. And now I can be productive. So when I get tired from standing, I can just sit and still be productive. So that's ultimately why I decided to get a chair in the first place, because I believe predominantly most of the time you should be standing up. It's better for your body. I can do a whole nother video on that. I'm not going to get into that right now. Now we're going to get into the second big decision. Should you buy brand new or should you buy remanufactured, also known as refurbished? Why did I decide to get a refurbished model? If I bought new, it would have cost me over $1,300. By buying it used, it cost me $610 some odd dollars. So that's over 50% savings. That's a considerable difference. My rationale was this. These chairs are made of hard plastic and steel. These materials don't break down. It takes hundreds of years for these materials to break down. Plastic that was manufactured 20 years ago is pretty much the same plastic it is 20 years later, okay, when it comes to this type of stuff. They're very durable materials. That was my first line of thinking. Then I was like, the upholstery, they do stuff with that. They reupholster it, so you're getting new upholstery. So it really is like new. And I'm thinking, if I sat in a brand new Steelcase Leap 2 versus a remanufactured one, I have a feeling I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I wouldn't be able to tell. I'm pretty sure that would be the case. That's my theory. So I'm like, I'm not spending twice as much for something that more or less operates the same exact way. It's not worth paying double for. That was my thinking. Because I've watched the videos of how they remanufacture them, and they do a good job. I've watched videos from BTOD.com, BTOD.com. They, in my opinion, are a reputable company for remanufacturing these chairs. And Crandall Furniture, which is CrandallOffice.com, which is ultimately where I made my purchase. I would say both of these companies do a great job at remanufacturing these chairs. They seem to be, at least. I can only speak for Crandall because that's where I got the product from. But BTOD seems good as well. They also put out a lot of really good videos pertaining to the chairs to help you make a purchase decision. In fact, their videos, besides that Maniac I told you about, their videos were the most informative and helped me to decide which model of chair I wanted. If I had a lot more money, I just would have bought a brand new one. I wouldn't have wasted valuable, precious time of my life trying to figure out which company I can trust. Finally, we're going to end this video with why I chose Crandall Office as opposed to other remanufacturers. I'm only going to talk about two other remanufacturers. One is Madison Seating, which gives you, they have the best deals. They have the cheapest price. I could have got what I got at Crandall, I could have got at Madison Seating probably for about $100 less. And here's the thing with Madison Seating. Right out of the gate, there's no way they're getting a penny from me because they don't even put on their websites that these chairs are remanufactured. They don't write that anywhere. They don't tell you that it's new, but they also don't tell you that it's used. And for that, fuck them. I'm never doing business with a company that does that because that, to me, it's misleading. It's misleading because it's a default assumption when you look at a product on a website and you buy it, it's a default assumption that it's new, unless it states otherwise. The fact that they try to hide that these chairs are remanufactured, there's no way I'm doing business with a company like that. Furthermore, I searched for reviews on MadisonSeating.com, and it was just one bad review after the next, and that cued me into there is a definitive process that occurs when these companies receive these used chairs and they go about remanufacturing them. There's certain processes that they do to make the chair like new, to make it as close to brand new as possible. And the two companies that I clearly saw by watching their videos, by searching for reviews, that seem to do a really great job at refurbishing these chairs are BTOD.com and CrandallOffice.com. I ultimately went with Crandall because I got a better deal. There was 11% discount, and that made my purchase, it ended up being like $75 less than what I would have spent with BTOD. Furthermore, I looked for a lot of reviews on both companies, and I got more like negative reviews from BTOD, particularly in terms of shipping time, shipping speed, and some customer service issues related to delays in shipping. I don't want to deal with any problems. That's one of my biggest criteria. When I buy a product, I will easily pay $150, maybe even $200 extra if I think I'm buying from a reputable company that's going to give me peace of mind. That if I have a problem with the thing, that it's not going to be a nightmare to return it. Stuff like that, because I don't need a nightmare on my hands. If I buy a $600 chair and there's something wrong with it, I need to make sure I'm dealing with a company that has good customer service. So I get worried about that. So I'm very quick to spend extra money. I'm not going to go to the cheapest place. I would have bought from Madison Seating. These assholes trying to sell me a chair, not even telling me it's used. I'm very happy with my Crandall office purchase. I feel good about it because I feel like I made the right choice. After you spend 8 hours trying to make a decision about something, first which chair you want to get, and second where you want to buy it from, you feel good when you feel like you got it right. And that's what this whole video is about, is to help you get it right for yourself. I hope that my feedback and input has helped you. I hope it helps give you clarity so you can make a better decision, because this is a big purchase. Even if you're spending, $600 is a fair amount of money. It's a big purchase because these chairs are going to last 5-10 years. And I feel like a considerable amount of thought should go into making this type of purchase, because it's related to your health. Sitting in the wrong type of chair can cause all sorts of problems, and certain people have issues related to their spine, and they're going to really want to look into which ergonomic chair is best for them. If this video helped you in any way, please like it. This is my first video ever, so if you like it, I'm going to feel amazing. It's going to give me that winner effect, and it's going to give me the confidence to go out into the world and make more videos. Excuse me.